Good morning.
Good evening po.
Hello, Patrick.
Is it raining hard in your place as well, ma'am?
It was earlier, but now it's not anymore. However, of course, there's a lot of wet ground. Um, my husband is currently fixing it because we have a lot of toys inside our house. So,
Oh, okay. Ma'am, is your husband a member of SCAP?
I'm sorry. What's cap?
The collectors group.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. Because as I was uh I remembered earlier me you told us that you're selling toys.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
These toys are Marvel.
Yes, Marvel. We have DC also. We have Hot Toys.
Okay. Maybe he knows about SCAP.
Probably me, I don't. So it's actually him who's doing, all
Ah,
the selling, not me.
sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm just in the background.
Live selling, ma'am?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because we are a collector as well. That's why I
Oh, okay.
collector of we were collecting statue 1/6 and 1/4 sizes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear those um terms, but I'm not really sure what it is, but I
Mhm.
hear those.
Uh-huh. One moment, mama.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I ask for 3 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ma'am, may I ask for 5 minutes as I relieve myself in the bathroom?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead,
Thank you,
Iman.
ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I believe we're already complete. Okay. So, not sure if Emil is already back because he said that he's just going to the restroom.
Hi, ma'am. I'm back.
Okay, hi. All right. So we will continue again today. So yesterday we finished discussing up to the swearing or cussing customer. Okay, so we still have to discuss a few more for the from different types of customers. So um we will continue with that. Just give me a second while I share my screen.
Good morning, everyone. You're all on mute.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Hi, nice. Okay. So for today we'll only have an hour session, and then after which Patrick and Emil take 15 minutes break, and then I'll be with you guys at 8:15 Manila. Okay?
Okay. Noted, ma'am.
All right. See you guys.
Please make me host, my
I
Rose.
yes, actually that's why I came here, to make you the host. Hold on. My goodness, make host. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Atele. See you
Thank
later.
you. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so this is where we left off from yesterday. The swearing and cussing customer. So we have different types of customers. Just to show you again, we have the irate, we have the swearing, the foreign accent, confused caller, the talker, or the rambler. So we were able to discuss until the swearing customer yesterday. Okay, so right now we will continue with the ones with the thick accent. Okay, those or callers with thick accent. Okay, do not pretend to understand. Ask them to speak slowly or paraphrase. You know, you will be speaking with, or sometimes Americans would actually tell you this because they cannot understand you. However, this happens to us as well as agents, wherein we cannot understand the people or the person that we are speaking with. This is because probably they are, you're speaking with them from the onshore or on, in the States or in the US. However, probably they have a Chinese accent or an Indian accent or any other accent at all. Okay, so sometimes, of course, that happens. Not all Americans, even if they are Americans, it doesn't mean that they have the natural or the neutral accent. Okay, so there are already a lot of people, outside of America who's already living in America. So, of course, when they call in or when we speak with them, we will also have a hard time understanding what they're trying to say. Okay. So, like what the first paragraph stated here, do not pretend to understand. Okay. You ask them to speak slowly or you paraphrase, meaning you ask them again. You apologize. This is because, again, you want to know what their concern is. So if you don't understand what they're trying to say, you cannot assume that the problem is the same as the previous call, right? So that's why you have to ask. Okay. Next, do not rush the caller. Don't make them feel uncomfortable. Okay. Meaning, okay, let them speak. Once you've already asked them, I apologize, but can you speak slowly? Or can you repeat what you just stated? I was not able to get that clearly. Okay. So, of course, sometimes because we are thinking, especially as agents, where if we are um, checking on or we are so aware of our HT or our, metrics, then of course we want to lower that AHT. And if we want to lower that AHT, we will have a, we want to finish the call right away. But how are we going to understand the caller's concern if we're going to rush them? Okay, so don't think about the AHT for the meantime. What we are trying to aim is actually provide a quality service to every call that we encounter. Okay, the AHT will come next, but what we know in the call center industry, what we want is to provide quality first. Okay, before all the metrics, before we meet all the KPIs. Okay, so what we need to think about first, or what our priority is to provide a quality service to our clients. Okay. All right. Of course, if you're rushing them, you will make them feel uncomfortable. Sorry about the pings. All right. Next, do not raise your voice. Always be patient. Okay. And of course, do not be rude nor abrupt. Okay. So meaning, of course, when you say that do not raise your voice, it happens wherein, of course, um, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, just have some questions in the office. All right. So again, do not raise your voice because sometimes when we are already, because we cannot understand them, we have a tendency to, raise our voice. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, can I hear you? We sometimes do that. It seems like, we can hear them, but because we cannot understand them, the natural reaction that we have is to, raise our voice a bit. And then if you still cannot understand, you still do that. It seems like you're talking to someone that you cannot hear. So make sure that you are aware of that too, because you have to be patient. If you cannot understand them, ask them to repeat, and just make sure that, ask them to speak slowly. Okay. I'm not sure if you were able to hear, there is a like a phone conversation that was recorded before, that an American agent actually spoke to an Indian caller and asking for something, and the American agent was asking for the name of the person, and they spelled it out, but they're still having a hard time. It's something like that. You have to be, you really have to be patient with the person that you're speaking with, especially if if they also get frustrated. If you are frustrated, they also get frustrated because they called you because they need something, and then you cannot understand what they're trying to say, so they also get frustrated. So you have to really be patient with them. Okay. And the last one, of course, do not be rude nor abrupt. Okay. Because sometimes this happens as well. Okay. Because our mind is automatically, if we cannot understand the person, especially because of thick accent, our mind automatically translate per word. Okay. Now, if we cannot understand the word that they're saying, it's automatic that we tell them, can you repeat that? Sorry, what was the word that you said? Of course, again, this adds up to the frustration of your customer or to your client. That's why let them finish. Okay. If you cannot understand it, what you do is like what was stated in the first one, paraphrase. When you say paraphrase, you just get a point of what they're trying to say if you were able to get it correctly. Okay. So if they're saying that it's regarding their bill, okay, let's just go back to that again. It's regarding their bill, and there's a charge that they're asking for. Okay, so that's why you have to be careful with that. It's if they're like what I said, they're already frustrated with their concern. And if you cannot understand them and you're being, a bit rude because you cannot understand them, it adds to their frustration. All right. So that's how you do it. Again, patience is the key. Okay. So in people with thick accent, patience is the key.
Ma'am?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Do we call them sir, ma'am, or by their first name?
By their first name is the most appropriate, unless they tell them when you ask them for their name, they specifically stated, my name is Dr. Geller. So if they stated, a title, then you call them Dr. Geller. But if, for example, they said that my name is Robert Geller, you may go ahead and ask them, would it be okay if I call you Robert? There. They would say, yeah, sure. If they stated, call me Mr. Geller, then call them whatever they chose. Okay. There. Again, thank you for asking, or thank you for asking that, because sometimes, of course, if we are talking to somebody who has title, they introduce themselves with a title. But if they didn't, they're not boastful of their title, they would just tell you, their name, and you can call them by their first name, unless they stated otherwise. Okay, we do not want to call them sir or ma'am. Okay, because what we want to show here is professionalism. Okay, because sometimes when you ask them, or you acknowledge them by saying sir or ma'am, sometimes they feel like they have that power. Okay, and we don't want to give it to them. Okay, so yes, we are apologetic for some of the concerns. Yes, we apologize for some of the inconvenience, but we refrain from asking or acknowledging them by saying sir or ma'am. Okay. Good question. All right. For the next one is the confused caller. Confused caller. If they are frustrated, empathize. Okay. Give assurance. Okay. Use close-ended questions. Get the specific answer. Use open-ended question to gather more information. Then provide specific and detailed resolution. Probe for understanding, any clarification. Okay, you will encounter people who will keep on asking, you know, what happened or what's wrong, even if you've already explained it. You know, these are people we call the confused caller. Sometimes, these are people who are having a hard time understanding, especially if they cannot see the person face to face. You know, um, they need to see the person in front of them explaining for them to be able to understand. Now sometimes, of course, because it's over the phone, it's harder for them. Okay, so you have to be patient with these people too. Okay, so these are the points again. When you say use close-ended question, this is because sometimes if you don't use, a close-ended question, questions that is answerable, or that are answerable by a yes or no only. I mean, sometimes if you use, or if you you ask them with open-ended questions, it opens the can of worms and they will not stop. Okay, remember, they called you if it's for out or inbound. Same thing with outbound. You called them this because you just wanted to verify something from them, or they wanted to verify something for you, vice versa. You need to take control of the call always. Okay. There are people you will be meeting, or you will be speaking with different types of people. And sometimes they actually just call because they wanted someone to talk to. They really don't have any concerns at all. They just wanted someone to talk to. Now, of course, if that happens, you have to be patient with what they're trying to say. And you have to be nice in telling them, you know, what's wrong, okay? Or what's happening. All right. So that's how it is. Hold on. Okay, the next one. The talker or the rambler. Okay. This is the sample that I gave to you earlier, wherein they just call, or sometimes they call, yes, they have a concern. However, they also say something else that's out of the, what they're, why they're calling. They sometimes, provide something else. They're just talking about a bill. However, they started off with telling them or telling the agent that, okay, this is because when I went to my friend's house the other day, and we after I went to my friend's house, I just picked him up. We went to the mall because we don't have anything to do. We went to the mall, and we went to this shop. We bought something. We bought the let's say we bought a shoe, and then after that shop, we went to eat for lunch. Then after that, we went to, so there's already a lot of things that you don't need. Okay. The caller or the client is already telling you things that you didn't ask. All right. So this is, it's different from building rapport. Okay, building rapport is just making small talks. Now, if there are people who are just talkers and just wanted to tell you what's happening throughout their day. Okay. Now, of course, if that happens, okay, you need to interject, lightly. Okay. Again, this is where the close-ended questions come in. Okay. You ask them in a way that, so did you went to H&M store to buy something worth 2,500, because that's what's showing on the bill. Okay. So you already, you ask them that instead of asking, so what happened? Because I do show that you have charge for 2,500 for this specific merchant. Now, if that is your question, you're giving them the freedom to tell you what happened. Okay, but if you ask them specifically, I see that you purchased an item in this store, this merchant for 2,500. So that's a yes or no question only, right? So you have to practice doing that too. Okay, this is for you to be able to take control of the call. Okay, because these people, they really talk a lot. They tell you everything. They have opinions on everything. Okay, and that doesn't, it's not regarding their concern anymore. It's more of just their opinion. They just wanted to tell you something. Okay, next, keep bringing the call back to the subject. So again, taking control of the call. Then use echoing questions to clarify the main point. Okay, echoing questions when they say that and then I went to, because sometimes of course you let them talk, right? Give them, like, let's say 15 seconds, or let's say 30 seconds to let them talk. Okay, they already provided, oh, I just wanted to check charge in my statement of account. It shows a 2,500. So because you're already seeing, whatever is in the account, may I know what date is this? Then you can go ahead and verify because you can see it in your system, right? Now, sometimes what they do is they tell you what happened from the beginning, Okay, you just go back. Just ask them. So did you went to the H&M store, or did you went um to this store? So that's how you do it. Because I show that, yeah, I do show here in my system, or it is in my system. I'm seeing it right now that there is a charge for 2,500. Okay, again, going back. Sometimes, yeah, but I don't remember going there. Or probably we did. Sometimes they do that. Um, I know that when after going from lunch, we went to the park. I don't remember. Sometimes they do that because they're thinking of what happened. Okay. So just bring them back to the issue or bring them back to the call. Okay. Again, there are people who are like that. They really state whatever it is in their mind. And if that happens, you get out of the subject already. Okay. So that's why you have to bring them back to the call. All right. So there. All right. Continuing, diffusing a caller's emotion. Okay. Diffusing a caller's emotion. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'd like to do my best to help. Okay. So those are, um, phrases that we can use to diffuse a caller's emotion. Okay, next, I completely understand. If that happened to me, I'd feel the same too.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm sorry to cut you again. The slides are not updating again.
Oh, there. Can you see it now?
Still no, ma'am. Now it's fine, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So diffusing a caller's emotion. So again, these are the sentences that we may use in diffusing a caller's emotion. Okay. So the first one, again, let me just read it to you again. When you read, because these are, scripts that are given. So these are general scripts, and it's how you put personalization in those scripts, or how you make it, how you utter it, or how you say it. So just make sure that when you state this, it's not like monotonous. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'd like to do my best to help. So if it's like that, you're not really empathizing, and you're not really, it's more of like you're just reading it. So make sure that you put emotions when you're stating or you're saying these sentences. Okay. So again, I apologize for the inconvenience. I'd like to do my best to help. Okay. So see the difference there? When again, where you put the stress or where you pause, it shows that you are really empathetic and you sympathize with whatever is happening to them. Okay. The next one, I completely understand. If that happened to me, I'd feel the same too. Okay. So there. Again, your tone should be going down because you're sympathizing or you're empathizing. Okay. Don't place a higher pitch here, because it should sound, it should sound a bit sad with what's happening, and that you understand. Okay. Next, the third, it's perfectly understandable that you feel that way about what has happened. See how I read it? Okay, it's going down, or my emotion or my tone is going down because to show emotion. Okay, on the last one, we don't like to see our customers inconvenienced. We always strive to create a positive customer experience. Okay, this is just providing them, that you don't like what's happening to them. However, you're not blaming your company also, or the let's say the account that you're working for. Okay. So Again, we don't blame. No, we don't do the blaming game here. It's more of where we wanted to give them assurance as well that we know what's happening to them. Okay, so there. Okay, how about this one? I want you to be the one to provide, be the one to read it and provide, putting emotion into these sentences. Let's start off with Patrick.
The third one, huh?
Hold on. The first sentence. We're already on slide 184. So can you see that? The one that shows please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Please let me know what I can do to help. Okay. Please let me know what I can do to help resolve the issue.
Okay, can you do it again? I don't see a no here. The sentence shows please let me see.
Uh, what? Please let me see what I can do to help resolve the issue.
Okay, all right. There you go. The next line, can Emil read this for me?
Let me find out what I can do to make it up to you.
All right. Okay, you're doing the downward tone, which is good. All right. Next, Charles, can you do the third?
I understand where you are coming from. Rest, ara- rest. I understand where you are coming from. Rest assured, I will look into what happened and do my best to assist you.
Okay, very good. And the last one, Lucas.
We always appreciate customers who take the time to give us their feedback. I'll pass it instead on to our management team.
Okay, very good. All right. So these are some examples again for diffusing colors emotion. Again, because they're already frustrated, because we have to remember, okay, we have to remember that they come to us for help. Okay. So if they come for us to help, they are assuming that you will be able to help them, or they're assuming that you will be able to provide a resolution to them. If you cannot provide a resolution, of course, you need to uh, assure them that you are still there to help them, and you're going to research, or you're going to do the best that you can to help with their concern. If you are able to resolve their issue from the get-go or from the call itself, then that's good. Okay, however, there are times wherein we don't have all the answers available to us right away. Okay, so that's why we have to let them know what we're going to do. Okay, that's the purpose of this. Again, these are constant, these are general, lines that we can use. Okay, so there are scripts that are provided with some, okay, with some companies. Okay, so just make use of those scripts and just make sure as well to personalize it, meaning you give emotion to those scripts. Okay, those scripts are not there to just read. Okay, you have to say that to your customers. So you have to practice in saying it. Okay, when you practice saying it, okay, um, make sure that you put emotions to it. That's how you make it personal. That's how you personalize the script. Okay.
Ma'am,
there.
excuse me, sorry to cut you off.
Yes.
I can see your PowerPoint slides again. It just says that Lynette Balau has started screen sharing. It's in black screen form. Yeah, there it is, ma'am. It's okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not sure why that's happening. Probably my internet is okay. I didn't stop share, but okay, so let's continue. So again, make sure, okay, if you want to use this, probably you may screenshot and just save it onto your computer. So again, like, because sometimes the scripts that are provided to you by companies are those that are applicable to them, but sometimes these are applicable to just to provide assurance, or just to provide, anyway, um it doesn't show any company's name, right? But you can use this. You can definitely use this sentences to assure your callers, or to assure your customers. All right. Okay. Always remember to always keep a clear head and one's objectives in mind. Okay. Your objective is to help. They called you, especially for inbound, they called because they need help. They need to verify something. They don't call because nothing. Okay. Sometimes that happens though, but it's very seldom. Um, they're calling because they are probably, if you are in sales, because they need to learn more about that. They need to learn more about what you're selling, or probably they saw it in an advertisement and they want to know um, if this is a good, if this is a good thing to buy. They want to verify something with you, because if they don't want to do that, they can always, if they don't want to do that, they can just use Google to research for it. But Americans, they don't like researching. There are a lot of people, sometimes they have a problem, small problem. They automatically call customer service to verify, and not check on themselves first. That happens. There's still a lot of Americans who are dependent on customer service. Okay, so that's why you always have to be patient with your callers, or with your clients. Again, just remember to be nice. Okay, even if they are cursing at you, even if it's a swearing customer, an irate caller. Okay, do not match their mood. Okay, this is not, this is nothing personal. It's more on they're frustrated because of something that happened um with the service that was provided to them, probably, but it's not you. It's not your fault. Always, so you always have to remember that too. The call is just regarding the services that your company that you're working for provides. So it's not your fault. You are there to assist them, to help them. So that's why you have to be patient. Okay. All right. So our next topic would be already regarding US culture and geography. There are things that we have to know, because we don't live in the US. So we at least need to know some of their background, some of their culture, for us to be able to um, probably be able to answer or to reply to whatever questions that they have, especially if you're calling them on a holiday and they tell you it's a holiday, but because you don't know what holidays are in the US, and the ones that you know are those here in the Philippines, you're having a hard time to answer. Okay, so these are things that what we're going to be tackling. Okay, US culture and geography. Okay, quick facts and culture portion. The capital of the USA is Washington, D.C. Okay, DC stands for District of Columbia, seat of the government. Is here within Capitol Hill and the White House, official residence of the President of the USA. Okay, so the capital of the USA is Washington, D.C. Okay, within the states, Virginia and Maryland. Attractions: the White House, Washington Monument, a Jefferson Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, JFK Performing Arts Center, Capitol Hill, the Smithsonian Institute, and the Vietnam Memorial. So these are things that you'll be able to see in the Washington, D.C. Okay. Within the states, you will see Virginia and Maryland. Okay. So there. Okay, the flag of the United States of America. White signifies purity and innocence. Red signifies valor and bravery. Blue signifies vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, again, because these are things that are, a good to know information. Okay, especially if the people that you will be dealing with is from the states. Okay, government buildings. Built on a hill, popularly called Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. The U.S. Capitol has been the home of the House of Representatives and the Senate since 1800s. Okay. So again, you'll be able to see this in Washington, D.C. Of course, the White House. Okay, the Supreme Court building. These are, monuments that we sometimes see in movies. All right. And then this one, the statues, memorials, and national parks. So located in Washington, D.C., it honors the father of our country, General Founding Father and the first President of the United States, George Washington. So the Washington Monument towers over everything in Washington, D.C., and is one of the tallest masonry structures. Okay. We see this in we actually saw this in I believe it's in Transformers. And then this one, okay, Lincoln Memorial honors Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of the United States. Means of communication, okay. In the US, they still use postal service. There are still people who use postal service. Okay, so you'd be able to see here name, street address, city, state, initial, and the zip. Okay, zone improvement plan. That's what it stands for. Okay, zip, zone improvement plan. We also have this here, right? Zip code. We also use this already. Before we don't, but now we use zip codes already to help us find or to help us, especially in deliveries. Okay, we have to put the zip code so that we won't have a hard time. In the U.S., postal service is still in effect, or they still use it. There's still people, of course, who there are already people who's using the internet, but there are a lot of people in the US who are in the rural area. So if they are in the rural area, they still use postal service. Okay. And then means of communication, their telephone numbers. Okay. So country code, area, and then the code phone number. So country code 1, area code 123, and the phone number 4567890. This is just a sample, all right? Toll-free numbers. Okay, toll-free numbers 800-888-88887. Okay, so those are just a sample toll-free numbers. There are a lot of toll-free numbers in the US. Here in the Philippines, it's already being used as well. Okay, we already have toll-free numbers there. When you say toll-free, it shouldn't have any charge. Okay. Okay, in the business world, American business culture, the concept time is money is taken seriously in US business culture. This is what we're saying, the first, when we first met. Okay. Consistency is common among Americans. American business people are opportunistic and willing to take chances. Little attention is paid to ranks and titles. This is what I'm saying. Little attention is paid to ranks and titles. That's why we don't use sir and ma'am. Okay, we don't use this. When they introduce themselves, it's just their name, and then we call them by their name, their first name. Of course, you ask them, would it be okay to call you Robert? Okay, if they say yes, go ahead, call them Robert. So Robert, this is how it is. Because here in the Philippines, we're so used to saying boss, right? Especially in a corporate world, if the person is higher than you, automatically we tell them boss. But of course, in the call center industry, we are already practicing that even if you are talking to the VP of the company, you call them by their first name, especially if they introduce themselves by their first name. Okay. They don't like to have, or they don't like to, um, they cringe a bit if they call them by their, title, or by saying boss. Okay. This is just here in the Philippines that we do that. Okay. There. Next, numbers, cardinal numbers, express quantity like 235. Okay. 2 agents were not present today. There, sample. $1,333.13. See, because here in the Philippines, so how we do it is 1,333.13. Okay, so they actually read it, by quantity. So $1,333.13. Okay, of course, it's still acceptable, the 1,333, but sometimes they would ask you to repeat that. Okay, because they're a bit confused with that. But if you state it as 1,333, they get that. They get it right away. But if you say it by digit, they will definitely ask you to repeat it. Okay, because they're used to saying it's 1,300, it's 1,575. So if you say 1,575, 1,575, right? So they're used to it. You can actually see those or hear those in movies as well. Providing um, dollars or payments. Okay. Next, ordinal numbers used in stating dates. Indicate order or rank, like first, second, or third. Okay. For most ordinal numbers, the ending th is used, with one or two exceptions for irregular numbers. Okay, or let's say the fifth. Okay, the first. Okay, so they use those. So I am going to have the interview on the first, or let's say on the 25th of June. Okay, so that's how they do it. My interview with the client will be on the 26th of June. Okay, so that's ending. Okay, numbers, the ending th is used. Okay, if you cannot use the first, second, and third. All right, so there. Those are just samples again. Okay. The next one that we will talk about is U.S. federal holidays. U.S. federal holidays. Again, these are something that we need to learn Okay, because you might be calling somebody, or if it's an outbound call, you might be calling them on a holiday and you're not aware of it, and they might get frustrated, or they don't want to talk to you because you're calling them on a holiday. Okay, so just make sure that you know this too. Of course, New Year's Day, we have this too, January 1st. Next is the Martin Luther King Jr. Day, third Monday of January. Okay, or January 15. It should be on January, third Monday of January, on January 15th, or whenever is the third Monday of January. Okay, so that's where they celebrate it. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., an African American clergyman, is considered a great American because of his tireless efforts to win civil rights for all people through nonviolent means. Since his assassination in 1968, memorial services have marked his birthday. Okay, so memorial services. For those who don't know who Martin Luther King, okay, um, he was the one who revolutionized, the equality with white and black people in the U.S. Okay, there are still people who are racist in the U.S. They look down, um, those black Americans. Um, but Martin Luther King is the one who actually started the civil rights, for that equality. Okay? Again, non-violent means. The next one that we have is the President's Day, third Monday of February. Okay, until the mid 1970s, the February 22nd birthday of George Washington, hero of the Revolutionary War and first president of the United States, was a national holiday. In addition, the February 12th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the president during the Civil War, was a holiday in most states. Okay, the 2 days have been joined, and the holiday has been expanded to embrace all presidents or all past presidents. So that's why instead of doing it February 22nd and February 12th, they used third Monday of February instead. Again, this is a national holiday. So it's no work for them. So if you need to talk to people in the States, just make sure that you know that it's a holiday. Okay. Then you have the Memorial Day, fourth Monday of May. Okay, fourth Monday of May. This holiday honors the dead. Although it originated in the aftermath of the Civil War, it has become a day on which the dead of all wars and the dead generally are remembered in special programs held in cemeteries, churches, and other public meeting places. So this is like our Veterans Day. Okay, this is like our Veterans Day. But this one, it's called the Memorial Day. Okay, of course, Independence Day in the US is on July 4th, honors the nation's birthday, the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. It is a day of picnics and patriotic parades, a night of concerts and fireworks. They are very big with this, the July 4th holiday. Not unlike here in the Philippines when it's June 12. No, there's a lot of rally instead. Okay. Instead of, celebrating our Independence Day with, something like this, wherein there's, picnics and, concerts or fireworks. Here in the Philippines, you'll be able to see a lot of rallies, rallies here and there. Not sure right now though, because there are of course a lot of because of the pandemic. So there's it's actually hard, or we don't do rallies anymore, right? The next one is the Labor Day. Labor Day is celebrated first Monday of September. Okay, this holiday honors the nation's working people, typically with parades. For most Americans, it marks the end of the summer vacation, and for many students, the opening of the school year. Okay, so first Monday of the September. The next one is Columbus Day, second Monday of October. On October 12, 1492, Italian navigator Christopher Columbus landed in the New World. Although most other nations of the Americas observe this holiday on October 12, in the United States, it takes place on the second Monday in October. Okay, so the Veterans Day. Earlier, it's a Memorial Day. Now, this one, Veterans Day, this is to commemorate, um, to honor Americans who had served in World War One. Okay, World War One. It falls on November 11, the day when the war ended in 1918, but it now honors veterans of all wars in which the United States has fought. Okay, so they have the Memorial Day, it's the same thing. Okay, and then they have the Veterans Day. Veterans Day is again for World War One previously, but right now all veterans of war. The other one, Memorial Day, what's the difference with that? The Memorial Day is those who are soldiers who died. Soldiers who died, any time of the era. Okay. Here in Veterans Day, it's more on those veterans in World War One, okay, or veterans of wars in which the United States has fought. The other one, the Memorial Day, is for general, those who served in the military, those who served, everybody, not just the veterans. Okay, so there. Next, of course, you have your Thanksgiving Day, fourth Thursday of November. And this is very big with them. Christmas is not really um, celebrated by everyone because there's a lot of religion in the US, but Thanksgiving Day, it's constant to all of them. Okay, they have Thanksgiving Day. This is the one that's very big with them. It's Thursday and Friday wherein they don't have work. So that's why it's a 4-day weekend. What they do is they really come together and celebrate it. And of course, thank each and every one in their table before eating. Okay, so Thanksgiving Day, very big with the US or in the US. Okay, of course, Christmas, again, not all celebrates this. That's why there are people who are, it's just a common day for them. And we don't really greet them Merry Christmas during this day. Okay, again, because not all celebrate it. What we tell or how we acknowledge this holiday is Happy Holidays. Okay, we just say happy holidays. We don't use Merry Christmas, because Merry Christmas is used, of course, by Christians. Okay, but here, of course, or uh, in the US, like what I said, not everybody celebrates this. Not unlike Thanksgiving, you can tell everybody Happy Thanksgiving. But in Christmas Day, what especially the call center industry, what is advised? Unless they say it first, Merry Christmas, but if they don't say it, you just tell them happy holidays. Right? So there. Okay. So that's all the holidays that we have for the US. So tomorrow what will happen is that um we will be discussing idioms. I will stop because it's already 7:56. Okay, I will stop. We will continue again tomorrow. We will be talking about idioms. Okay, idioms. What are idioms? And then the geography. what are the 50 states? Okay, US map. We'll also be talking about time zones so that you also know the time zones. Okay, what states is from those time zones? Okay, what it means of what daylight saving time is, what's it for? Okay, and actually that's it. Okay, that's the end of the our language training. Okay, we'll just talk about those tomorrow. We will probably not be able to finish the whole 2 hours tomorrow. Okay, but right now it's actually supposed to end today, our language proficiency. However, I have a, a previous meeting that I cannot get out of. That's why I'm only until 8, because my meeting starts at 8 with my client. Okay, um so that's what's going to happen tomorrow. So I hope that you were able to understand, or you were able to um you don't have any questions with the discussions that we had today. We'll meet again tomorrow. Patrick and Emil, please stay on the line. Wait for Morose. And for Lucas and Charles, good evening to you both. Just tell Morose that I've already left the meeting, or can you just call her so that she can join the meeting, because I need to make her host.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Yes, ate.
Should I make Charles host?
No, you guys can all leave, and then I'll just join the meeting at 8:15 Manila.
Oh yeah, you
With
have a break.
Emil.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a break. Thank you, ate.
Thanks.
The same room, ma'am, right?
Yes, same room.
Okay,
Same
ma'am.
room.
All right,
All
thanks, Patrick.
right.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.